People say, why should 2021 be better than 2020? Well, I'll tell you one reason why I think it will. There really shouldn't be any surprises left, at least not bad surprises. I think a lot of us were surprised at just how deep the corruption runs, about just how institutions would fail repeatedly, unapologetically. I'm not trying to get you down. I'm trying to actually give you reason for hope. We now have a much more accurate understanding of the world that we're in. Is it possible at this point to be disappointed in anything? I don't really think it is. Is it sort of like saying things can only get better? Maybe. But what I'm really saying is our baseline of expectations regarding how the world works and whom we can trust is hit rock bottom. They can't break our hearts anymore. And maybe we can break theirs. It's possible. But let's not break our own hearts. I know that I'm going to lose some support when I say this, but I've said it many, many times on Twitter. We don't win by becoming what we hate. That's not winning. We must fight the good fight, but it must be a good fight. Happy New Year. What did Thomas Paine mean when he said, these are the times that try men's souls? Why souls? Why not character, courage, intellect, strength? Why souls? What did Lincoln mean when he said that our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal? When he said created, did he mean evolved from a primeval muck? I doubt very much that he did. These are the times that try the souls of people who know somewhere, acknowledge, without being theologians, without being rabbis, priests, ministers, imams, who know that we have souls. This is a spiritual fight. We're involved in a spiritual fight. This is a fight between right and wrong. I can't tell you how many people have said to me in the last couple of weeks, the other side in this battle appears to be satanic. They are on the wrong side of every single moral issue. Every single one. Slavery, murder of unborn children at any stage of their development, stealing elections, lying. Is nothing sacred? You can't ask that question unless you first acknowledge that something is sacred. I'm driving in New York City. Had to come in to do an errand today. I'm hopeful that no one is going to stand up on my car hood and smash my windshield with his boots. I don't think he will. I'm on 5th Avenue and 47th, stopped at a light. 5th Avenue doesn't look too bad. Most of the stores are still open, amazingly. They tend to be, if they're on 5th Avenue, national stores that have, I guess, parents, national ownership, that have the cash to be able to sustain remaining open. But I drove on the other direction, going uptown on Madison a few minutes ago. What a disaster. Stores boarded up. Premium retail spaces advertising their availability. Who's going to come into these stores? It's amazing. It's amazing to think that it would happen. 2020, this time a year ago, New York was so hot, so unstoppable. And here we are now. How does it happen? You have to want it to happen. You can't screw up success like that by accident. You have to have a will. And Will de Blasio, he had it. I was wrong about him. I wrote an editorial defending him. It's true I did it at the behest of a client who was a big supporter. I regretted that as well. I thought de Blasio was okay. It's not. Is New York going to be okay again? I don't know. I just don't know. You need to look at my pinned tweet today in order to understand this video. I'm not going to talk about option number 1. I'm going to talk about option number 2. Option number 2 is profoundly troubling if it is the correct one. And again, I'm prepared to debate anyone on the suggestion that my dichotomy is a false one. I think it's the accurate one. If Donald Trump is in fact not bold, if he is in fact not far more intelligent than people believe he is, if he in fact is incompetent and ineffectual, that raises a lot of additional troubling questions. One of them is a question of logic, because in fact a number of very substantial achievements by him as president beggar explanation. He did things that other presidents could not do, that he was warned not to do, and that he did, and which led to tremendous success, particularly in the Middle East. That's a big deal. He made major inroads with respect to government regulation. In my view, as merely an observer, not an expert, his political coattails were overwhelmingly positive. I'm going to do a part 2. Trump completely rewrote the rules, the paradigms, the framing of American politics. He exposed a large portion of the Republican Party as essentially a non-opposition party. He completely changed the terms in which we judge and evaluate the press, and it was in reaction to a concerted effort by the press, by the establishment press and media, to destroy him, notwithstanding the fact that his policies were never reactionary, never racist, and in fact were overwhelmingly moderate. So the ineffectual, timid Trump, I don't understand how you get there. Is that same man capable of nonetheless not taking executive action given his presidential powers in a system that he has no loyalty to, that owes him nothing, that he owes nothing to, that he's contemptuous of? I don't understand that either. But if in fact the answer is 2 and not 1, we're in even worse shape than we thought. Because somehow the Republican Party came up woefully short in terms of presidential candidates. They couldn't get rid of this idiot, this ineffectual schmuck. And we have nothing now. Nothing. That doesn't work. Good morning, America. It's going to be some party going forward. I was wrong about so many things, including a lot of things I gave you encouragement about in these little videos. I didn't really appreciate just how bad it got. Just how bad they would let it get. Just how many people could be so wicked. I was a schmuck. We're not going to be schmucks anymore, are we? I don't see how we can, right? There's not really that option. You know, things are going to have to change. Things and our attitudes and our whole relationship with the system are really going to have to change. I'm prepared to change them. Now, my ability and enthusiasm for changing them is pretty limited by my lack of wealth, by my age, by the fact that I'm a lawyer, which makes me very much a part of the system. So I won't be throwing any bombs. I won't be joining any coups. But this isn't going to work. We're going to have to change the way we communicate, change the way we organize, change the way we think. This might be the last video of mine you ever see. That's why I'm doing it so early. Who knows when they're going to ban me today? Or ban you? Who cares? We've done everything we can. I know I have, within my meager abilities. It's going to be a different ballgame now. Watch how much fun opposition can be, even now. Have a great day. Good morning. You know, for years I was a member of the Federalist Society. You've all heard of the Federalist Society. I was actually the chapter president at Northwestern back in 1986, 87. The Federalist Society has been very important. It has provided an important and meaningful source of legal talent and ultimately judicial talent for the conservative movement. And what we saw in 2020 is the extremely disappointing limitations of the Federalist Society. Judges at every level, all the way to the top, who have been members of the Federalist Society and involved with the Federalist Society, have really let us down. They are ultimately careerist. Their commitment to recognizing and fighting against encroachments on liberty seems to be so amenable to management by institutional and career concerns that they didn't come through. COVID is still preventing most of us from living free lives as Americans any human being is entitled to do. We've seen an election literally fraudulently stolen and then repeated again in the Georgia runoff, openly and fraudulently, and judges shrug their shoulders. Not only liberal judges, but judges appointed by Republican presidents off lists provided by the Federalist Society, lists that once included my name. It's true. It's not going to work. We need something new, and we're talking about it. Stay tuned for that. Have a great weekend and a great Shabbos.